So everybody is on mute right now, but um, we will unmute at the end for questions. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is an information session for the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator. If you're joining this call, you're probably thinking about this opportunity, how to apply to the accelerator, who should apply, what the accelerator is, and that's really what we've scheduled this meeting for, so that we can present the accelerator to you and that you can have some personal time with us to ask some questions. Next slide, please. Arika, can you change the slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so just starting off, again, your questions in the comments box, and you're going to watch a brief overview of the program.
In the United States, nearly half of all adults have some form of cardiovascular disease, often caused by the lack of access to the most basic needs. Needs such as healthy food, clean air and drinking water, quality education, transportation, employment, and housing. The American Heart Association is committed to making a difference in community health. As a result, the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator supports entrepreneurs who design solutions to improve health in their under-resourced communities. Our goal? To address health disparities and create health equity for all. Over the past 4 years, the Business Accelerator has trained close to 50 social entrepreneurs nationwide and provided over $500,000 in grant funding. Media outlets such as CNN and Fast Company magazine have recognized and highlighted the great work our candidates have accomplished. Now, in the midst of the global pandemic, our communities are experiencing even more challenges. The American Heart Association is proud to support, uplift, and help scale innovative solutions and the changemakers behind them during this difficult time. It is our goal to find the brightest social innovators around the world. We are excited to support and help scale the visionary ideas of the entrepreneurs who will be sharing their ideas with all of us today. Get ready to be inspired. In the United States.
Great, thank you. So that was just a brief overview about the program. So the Empowered to Serve Business Accelerator is a training and grant opportunity designed to help solve health disparities. In our efforts to remove barriers to health and solve social determinants of health, we're supporting and building powerful partnerships with social entrepreneurs, businesses, nonprofits, and startups just like you that work within communities to resolve these issues. So this is our 5th year in the accelerator, and we're very excited to start a new national application period. It is open right now through July 16th. You can go to empoweredtoserve.org/apply. We'll go through that in a minute, but just wanted to put that out there if anybody needed the actual link again. Who should apply? So anyone 18 years or older can apply to the accelerator. You also need to either have an idea, an established business, a nonprofit, a startup, anything that has an actual health impact. So your organization doesn't necessarily have to be a health product or have a general health focus, but it has to have a health impact, because we know that people like you in the community that are working with people have that trust already established. We don't want to go out and recreate the wheel. We want to be supporters. We want to go out into the community and find people like you who are already doing great things, already improving people's health, already working on solving social determinants of health, and we want to support you through training and through grants. So if you're 18 years or older, if you have a startup, established business, nonprofit, or idea, you can apply. And also you need to be within the United States. So those are the top three application guidelines. What differentiates our accelerator? So the first thing is you will see that we're not a true pitch competition. A true pitch is talking about what you do, your business style information. So if you've watched Shark Tank, they talk about how much money you've raised, how many people are part of your organization, very business style information that you use in a pitch. A business story is different because a business story is going to focus on who you are, why you're the right person to lead this this program, and also the health impact that you're having. So if you think about it, a business story really gets you in the door to make a pitch. And so our training will help you to refine your business story, think about your mission and your impact on health. The next thing is a training. And so if you make it to the final candidate, if you're a final candidate, you receive 8 weeks of business training. It's an MBA style business training, which covers lots of different topics, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. It's something that you would pay around $10,000 to a consultant to teach you. And so this is an amazing opportunity for you to get this information for free, complimentary, because we really want your ideas, your businesses, your impact to grow and scale. And part of that is that you will have access to grant funding. We will have a first place grant recipient, a second place, and a fan favorite. So the first will receive $50,000. The second place will receive $15,000. And then the fan favorite, which will be voted on by friends and family and anyone else who wants to join. It's about 2 weeks before the accelerator starts and runs all the way till the day of the main event. And that day we will close out the fan favorite voting during the event, and that fan favorite will receive $5,000. And then the last thing is that you become part of our network. So this is not just that you'll get training, not just that you'll have a grant opportunity, but after that, you're kind of under our wing. Anytime we have things in your corresponding local market, or from a national perspective that we can integrate you into, anywhere from being a part of a meeting, talking with the CEO, or being a part of a national event. Those are all things that will come up as part of this opportunity when you become a finalist. Next slide. So as I said, this is our 5th year. We've been very successful. We've trained 48 organizations and 93 social entrepreneurs, and we've given away close to $600,000 in funding, which is amazing. We've had amazing candidates. I'm just highlighting a few, but you can go on the Empowered to Serve website to get to know just a few more. One second. Okay, we can go to the video and then I'll talk about everyone else. That's fine.
The AHA Business Accelerator is like an MBA program on steroids, really focusing on how do you create a narrative and tell a story that promotes your business, your organization, to help it scale, help it grow, and get great feedback and more people to support it. I would encourage people to apply to the Accelerator because Often we need different ways of telling our stories and we need help doing it. Then we also need cohorts of like-minded constituents and people that look like us too, that are going through businesses and find out their pathways. I will highly recommend the program.
So don't look at the last part. That was from the 2020 Accelerator, but we wanted to give you that idea from Brittany Young, she was one of our Accelerator finalists, and that was her giving a testimonial on her experience with the Accelerator. She's the third picture. You'll see Brittany Young is part of B360. She developed a STEM program for kids based around motorbikes, and she provides STEM education through trying to fix the bikes and learn about bikes. And so it was a very original concept, and she has been very successful before and also after going into the Accelerator, and she has integrated many times nationally with us as well as locally in Baltimore. And the first person that you'll see, that is Lea Lizarondo, and she is with 412 Food Rescue. And she started a fleet of volunteers to go and sign up as a volunteer on her website on 412 Food Rescue. And they go out and they are matched with a restaurant or an organization that has extra food. And then they match that online with a nonprofit that needs the food. So let's say a food bank that needs the food in the area. So she's developed a fleet of volunteers that go, they pick up from that location, and then they bring it over to the nonprofit in need. And so they've created this amazing program that just connects two people, one that needs to get rid of something and one that, really needs that food that is left over. And so not wasting food, which is amazing. The second one, that is Jeremy Goss, and he is a physician, but he also started the Link Market, which started off as basically a grocery food cart. And it was in St. Louis. He realized that people that were taking public transportation, it was very hard to get groceries in food deserts, but people were taking this public transportation and always went through this main station. And so instead of people having to get down at the main station, go look for a grocery store or a corner store that they could find fresh fruits and vegetables, and then have to get back into the train station, get on the train, he has this little food cart with fresh fruits and vegetables in the main station. So people were able to get their fresh fruits and vegetables that lived in a food desert on their way back home or on their way to work. And then through that, through this opportunity with the Accelerator, he actually connected with somebody who had a brick and mortar grocery store in a housing authority for seniors. And he was able to start a brick and mortar grocery store there, where he had the seniors as part of the board to help him figure out what kind of groceries they wanted, what would be the best layout for them. So he's taken off because of the Accelerator, the connections that he's made, and the grant funding. And the last one you'll see, he's the last one all the way on the right, that is Andrew Suggs. And he started an app that he connects with barbershop employees, those that are cutting hair. So he started off with this app that helps the barbers with making appointments for haircuts, but also when the person comes in to get their haircut, it then becomes an opportunity for health monitoring. So they take their blood pressure, They talk about what are some things you might have a barrier to, being healthy. And then it goes into this app, and with all of that information, they get to connect on the back end with a healthcare professional if that's something that they need. So really going back to the old school mentality of you trust your barber, that's a place where you can really get health information, but taking it to the 21st century and saying, why are we just giving health information? Why aren't we making this connection and making sure that, we're taking their blood pressure? We're talking about what's important in our health. And so you can see these as different opportunities, but you can also see them as examples of, is your business or your nonprofit or your idea something that would be great for the accelerator? And we just wanted to present these examples so that you could see the different people who have made it through, but there are a lot more people, amazing entrepreneurs that have come through the program. And please go to empoweredtoserve.org to get to know everybody. Next slide. So the timeline, this will be important for everyone. As we said, the submission period closes on July 16th. So make sure that you submit your application by then, but we are using a program named Flux. And so when you create your profile, you'll be able to go in and out and save your application. So if you start it now, we'll be able to see that you're in draft form, and that's totally fine. You can just keep working on it. Just make sure that you submit by July 16th. And if you do start your application, we'll be able to see it and we can reach out to you if we think, the time is coming closer and you haven't applied yet. We will be internally reviewing the applications from July 17th to August 5th. And I know that a lot of you usually have questions in regards to what do we use to review the application. So really our focus is on two ends. One is, what is the health impact? And is it going to be scalable, achievable, and how many people do we think that you will really be able to have a health impact on? And the other end is your business model. So we'll look at what we think you'll be able to achieve in terms of scalability. Will our funding actually take you where you need to go? Are you too early in the process? Are you, well established and you need way more money, and we don't think that a small amount is really going to do what you need? But also, will your organization benefit from training as well? So those are the different ways that we look at the applications. We'll then announce the candidates on August 6th on the website, and we'll also contact you if you're in the finals. And then there will be an 8-week training period, which Krista will talk about in a few minutes. And then again, we talked about the fan favorite voting, which is about 2 or 3 weeks of time where you'll be able to, as a finalist, promote that you are in the finals and want to get their fan favorite voting for the $5,000 grant. And then the finale event will be a virtual event on October 21st, where the finalists will tell their business story in front of a panel of judges. We do already have some people on the list as judges and as our MC. So if you were with us last year, we had our MC, which was Sharon Epperson from MSNBC. If you've ever watched her, she's a great presenter. She's very interested in this topic. And so we've welcomed her back as our MC. And we also have Shelly Bell from Black Girl Ventures. She will be one of the judges. And then we have some other exciting judges that we will present when the contract is signed, but trust me, you want to be a part of the finalists. So we will be announcing that soon. So make sure you're checking the Empower to Serve website for that. Next slide. So I'm going to pass it over to Krista Chambers Price, which you see, she's on the first row, she's in the middle, being jolly, because she loves training. And so she'll go over what the training experience will be like.
Thank you, Michelle. You know, you're supposed to warn somebody if you're going to use that picture. So yeah, me afterwards, we have a chit chat. But to everyone else that's here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's such a thrill to have, so many of you here who are interested, not just in this process, but you are leading you have the vision rather to lead a project that's going to change the lives of so many people. And one of the things that, I love about this process is that, the American Heart Association has built an experience that is meant to, not just, provide you with some additional skill sets that's going to, help, strengthen your ability to lead the project, but they really do. And Michelle mentioned this earlier, but they really do take care of everybody who comes through this process or who are eventually accepted and go through it, whether you win a grant or not. And that's a powerful, ally and network to have with you as you continue to grow. So consider that as a value add, which is, it's rare with many accelerators that are in the market right now. Once you're finished, you're done, not the AHA, you're a part of the family. So the experience itself will take you through phases, right? The first phase, we want to really get a sense of how much you understand and can articulate your purpose and mission that is, tight, concise, and impactful. And this goes deeper than just, presenting a mission statement, which probably many of you already have already. This is more tied to, what is that North Star and what's the vehicle that you're using to reach that North Star. So think NASA and Apollo missions and how those projects, those missions are so captivating and so powerful that people who would probably have never been interested in before are absolutely in your corner and want to see you succeed and help you scale. And the reason why that happens is, which is something else you're going to experience as one of the phases in this accelerator, is you're going to go really deep in understanding your customer and the community, customer/community. And, what that's going to entail is once we get clear about, or you're clear about purpose, mission, and why you're the one to lead, then we're going to go real deep in looking at the psychosocial and behavioral aspects of your community and the customer so that we can see where's there the right alignment so that scale can happen that Michelle was talking about earlier. And then finally, we're going to work on helping you actually understand how do you create a brand? Because all of you are walking in with great products and services, but at the end of the day, the brand is what people trust, right? In order to build that trust, we need to understand those elements that I talked about earlier in those additional phases. Once you understand and we build or we work together to figure out how to create that brand personality and that brand type so you can create the right experience for the community and for your customers to really connect with and to support, you'll find that throughout the entire process, you're actually building the story because your brand story is complicated because we're all complicated, but it also is tied to really revealing your unique value proposition, which is going to be tied to your business model. So it's a process that is a thread of the story throughout the entire accelerator, but we're going to be going deep on different areas of that story so that when you finally tell that 5-minute presentation at the end of the accelerator, it's a story that's going to help open the door so you can get to an eventual pitch that may be for grant funding or Series A rounds or whatever. But And I think Michelle mentioned that earlier, but it is a process, and it is a tough process. It's an intense process, because at the end of the day, what we believe is that because you're being charged, or you're charging yourself with leading this concept, our job is to help you make it stronger. In order to make it stronger, then there's going to be intense periods of deep review and reflection, but you're going to have a ton of support as you go through the process. So those examples of those candidates that Michelle shared with you earlier, yeah, that's the end product. If you saw them at the beginning, oh my God. I mean, especially, and I'm glad you picked those, Michelle, those candidates, because they came in with a lot of strength and a lot of accomplishment, right? But there was an opportunity for them to go deeper, even within their understanding of what they were bringing to the table. So it stretched all of them, but the results have just been incredible. And it's been a real pleasure to watch them grow and take these concepts not just to another level, but the impact they're having in the community is just amazing. Oh, one last thing I want to share with you is going to happen during the Accelerator is, in addition to all the deep work that you're doing, once we get to the point where we're looking at the community and the customer, you're actually going to launch a small beta test where we're going to have you be within, it's like you're in the Accelerator, but you're out in the community testing and iterating throughout this process. So you're going to have a great opportunity to really, go live with your, with your project as it's being iterated through the Accelerator. So I think I've covered everything, Michelle. Let me know if I missed something, and I can go back and hit that.
I think you're good.
I hit everything? Okay, cool.
So,
You guys apply. Hope to see you. Okay.
you'll be best friends with Krista if you get into the finals.
We'll have fun. We'll work hard and we have fun.
Next slide, please. Okay, so this is just a recap on where you can go to get the application. If you have any technical issues getting into the application or questions after this that didn't get answered, you can email me at t-michelle.rothel@heart.org. The email is on the bottom of this slide. Next slide. Okay, so this is your time to ask questions. I know that there was, I believe, one. Okay, it says, this is kind of a personal one, but I think will help others. My business is in the aesthetic space, but would like to incorporate a social entrepreneurship component regarding health equity and justice in Black and Brown communities. Will I qualify? If so, will I discuss my business or the idea of improving lives itself? Great question. So if anybody out there has the same type of organization, again, is not necessarily a health business, but has a health impact. So what you'll do is you can definitely apply. In the application, you'll talk about your current business model and what you've been able to achieve. And you can talk about why you're going to add this health equity component and how you think it will work in terms of your business model and how you're going to integrate it into your business model. And then you'll see a section in the application that will talk about what you think your health impact will be in terms of numbers. So you can talk about your current business, how many people you already reach, and how you think that that will help you in terms of scaling from the health equity side of things. So hopefully, Kimberly, that helped with that question. I don't know if Arika, if you can unmute people or what we should do to let people ask questions.
I think so. Give me 1 second. Let's see if
I got to the participants. Okay, they can now unmute if they have a question. Okay, Shireen, I'm going to go and unmute you now. It said that you should be able to unmute yourself, but it looks like you're not able to. Let me find you. Did it ask you to unmute? There we go.
Yes, I see it. Thank you.
You're
It's Hattie.
welcome.
So my question was regarding the program itself and especially lining up sort of KPIs around the program. How should one go about doing that? What are some KPIs that you recommend? So just real quickly, we provide culturally adapted nutrition therapy. Right now, we focus largely on diabetes. We're doing some work in the cardiovascular space soon. So when we're talking about KPIs and really setting that up for the program, how would you recommend setting those attainable KPIs for this accelerator program? Could y'all hear me okay?
Michelle, did you want to answer that, or?
Sorry, I was talking on mute.
Yes,
Obviously.
you
So are you talking about in terms of the application or during the training process? Arc, I think.
Oh, sorry. I think you have to give me permission each time. I meant for the application itself, and then I guess it would also reflect later, but for now in the application.
And so you want to know the KPIs that you need to put into the application?
That's correct.
So, I mean, really, so in terms of what we do when we review the applications, we really just need to understand your overall business model.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we want to see how you'll be able to scale and grow when if you receive a grant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how many people that you think will be affected or will be able to achieve health impact through your model.
Okay, that's helpful.
Does that help?
It does. It does. Yes. Thank you.
So Michelle,
Krista, anything else you want to add?
Yeah. So Shireen, great question. Also, if you can do a simple Google search on social determinants of health. There are about 12 categories that the American Heart Association recognizes. So one of if your KPIs can really point to those categories, that's also helpful. And Michelle, do you want to also share with her and really the rest of the group too, how the health and sciences team reviews and provides, feedback and their take on the actual application?
Yeah, so we also have an internal team, which is in our science and health metrics team. And they also help us from that other side. So Krista and I really look at it from the business side and the training side. And then we have an internal team which looks at it from the scientific and health metrics perspective on whether they think you'll be able to scale your program, whether you'll be able to have a health impact. And so they provide us with an overall score, which is also a great thing for us to be able to go back and provide to you during the training, because you'll be able to see from an outside perspective, from someone who's from like this science background, this health metrics background, where they think your gaps are. And it might just be that your application didn't have enough information, and sometimes those are the gaps. But the great thing is that you'll be able to see from an outside perspective, like, here are the places that they think you may be lacking and you got a lower score on, and could really help you think about, you know, where you could improve upon. Is that what you're talking about, Krista?
Yes, yes, indeed. Yeah. Because, you know, Shireen, one of the things we'll refer to those scores that the health and sciences team provides throughout the accelerator. So if there are areas that can be improved on or taken to another level, then we have a baseline to start from.
There's another question from, it's not letting me slowly go down, LM. Where can we find the grant application, guidelines, documents, etc.? So there aren't really any guidelines and documents out there. There's really, when you go to empoweredtoserve.org/accelerator, you'll see all of the information in terms of like the timeline, who should apply. And then when you go in to actually apply on Flex, you will need to sign off on the terms and conditions, which might be something that you're thinking about in your question. So in the terms and conditions, there will be other things that are on there that maybe that's what you're referring to. But you'll see all the questions are on the Flex application. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. But there aren't any other guidelines or documents other than the who should apply type questions that I think we answer, but I'm happy to go over those again. One of the who should apply questions that I didn't put on, but that is significant, is that if you have a company that has a patent, you cannot be under any litigation. So if anybody is saying that you are infringing on a patent, we won't be able to put you into the accelerator. That's happened before. And so just something to think about. If you're under current litigation with your business, we also won't be able to accept you. And that will be a part of the application. And we'll ask you if you're under current litigation, or if your patent is being, if someone is saying you're infringing on their patent. Latoya said, if we do not receive a grant, are there other opportunities to still participate in the training? Great question. So all applicants, whether you make it in or not, will actually be emailed after the application period closes, because we do have a relationship with, blanking on the name. Help me out, Krista.
What's that?
The training for everybody.
What do you mean? The accelerator?
No.
The YWCA.
Yes.
From
The YWCA.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
YWCA Chicago is actually in partnership with us to offer a small business training to everyone that applies. So while it's not our AHA personalized one-on-one business training that we will go through to develop your business story, it is an amazing training that you will receive from the YWCA. So you'll receive the information and you'll reach out directly to them from that email, because we don't want to give out your personal information if you're not interested in being a part of the YWCA. So we'll send it to you and you can reach out to the YWCA. And all applicants will get that opportunity. Great question. Anybody else trying to get off mute or ask a question?
Michelle, I just sent to Arica the SDOH PowerPoint, the category, so she can drop it in the chat for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't have the magic keys to do it myself. So.
And I think those are also listed on the website.
Are they? Okay. You want to give them that link too? Or is
It's
it
on
just
empoweredtoserve.org.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't want to
Hi,
butcher
can you
your
hear
name.
me?
Okay, here. Hi.
Hello, everybody. So I just have a quick question. I know at the beginning you said this opportunity is for people who have ideas or already established businesses. A couple of days when I tried to start filling out the application, it wouldn't let me go past the organization name. So would I need to like register an organization before I could like complete the application?
No, so you should be able to apply as an individual. It gives you an opportunity in the beginning to say applying as an individual or applying as an organization. So if you're applying with just an idea, you want to apply as an individual.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Angela asked, is there a preferred category of business to receive this funding or training? So we have had people in the concept phase or the prototype phase go through and actually receive a grant. And we've also had organizations that are well established between 3 and 5 years. And we've had startups also receive the grant. So I would not discourage anyone from applying. Anyone could receive a grant. Anyone could get through the training. It's really about your application and how clear you can be on your concept and how much we can see that your effort and your health impact is a good fit for the accelerator. So doesn't matter where you are in the process. I would say the ones that we definitely would just not put through are going to be ones that have had millions of dollars of funding and don't really need our help. You know, they're already really far along, and $15,000 is really not going to do anything for them. And they could probably afford their own training at this point. We really want to help like people really in the community, of the community, and that would benefit from the training and the grant. You'll see that ARCA put in social determinants of health categories if you want to review those. So we are at time. You're welcome to email me with any other questions that you have during the process. Again, it's t-michelle with 2 L's .raphael@heart.org. We will also have this recording up on the website in the next few days if you want to go back and review it. And then we also will have another opportunity, just looking at my calendar to make sure I'm telling you the right date, but on July 6th at 6 p.m. Central Time, we'll have this same opportunity for you or for others to come on and ask questions and get more information. And yes, Angela, yes, thank you. It is t-michelle.raphael@heart.org. Yep, you got it right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.